And we are live. Hello folks, welcome to part 31 of Sonadow Play Ace Attorney. Joining me as per usual is my lovely girlfriend I IMShadow007. Say hello, hon.
Hi!
And today we're going to start the first trial of the final case in Trials and Tribulations.
And also, it's a very special occasion because yesterday was Sonic Fan's birthday yesterday.
Yeah.
And it's not just any birthday, it was his 30th birthday. So
must
big
you remind me?
milestone. So yes.
Hey. Anyway.
But yeah, so happy birthday, honey.
Thank you.
Let's begin. Oh my, Mr. Larice feels that way about me?
Apparently, he isn't aware of your real secret at all. There is no time to be embarrassed.
I'm sorry. I'm just hardly accustomed to that sort of thing.
Worry not. And in any case, whatever it was he saw on the night of the incident, mark my words, I will drag it out of him.
Does that mean Mr. Larice is the witness today?
No. I believe that nun will be the first to take the stand.
Sister Bikini.
She claims to have seen the very instant in which you carried out the crime. I just want to ask you one last time. It really wasn't you who killed Miss Elise Donham, correct?
That is correct. It wasn't me.
Very well then.
Mr. Edgeworth,
Yes?
you are a prosecutor, aren't you? Are you sure about this? If your true identity is revealed...
Don't worry. I've made the necessary arrangements.
I see.
Iris. It is a prosecutor's job to doubt people. But right now, I am a defense attorney. A defense attorney's job is to believe in people and to believe until the bitter end. That's what my friend told me once.
Mr. Edgeworth.
I simply ask that you watch and decide for yourself whether or not I am fit to do the task I have been entrusted.
Very well, sir. I leave my defense in your capable hands.
Court is now in session for the trial of Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple. Defense is ready, Your Honor. The defense does indeed appear to be ready. However, the same cannot be said for the prosecution in this case. Indeed. I'm not sure I like such a blatant waste of the court's time. An empty prosecutor's chair can only mean that the prosecutor has no confidence in their ability to prove their case. It would seem that this case is already over before it had a chance to begin. I am ready to announce my verdict at this time. This court finds the defendant...
Objection!
What in the name of Tim Hortons?
Miss me, bitch! The prosecution stands ready. I miss you!
And you are?
Franziska von Karma, prosecuting prodigy.
Von Karma, you say? Perhaps you wouldn't be of any relation to the legendary prosecutor Manfred von Karma.
Legends are a thing of the past. I am a von Karma, that is all. Upon a special request, I flew in today for the purpose of prosecuting this case.
You did? Then you must be quite a big shot, eh? By the way, Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor? I'm almost certain that I've seen you somewhere before. Or am I just imagining things? You look very much like a prosecutor I met once. I believe you are imagining things, Your Honor. Miss von Karma, do you have anything to say?
There is no such weakling as this man among those of the prosecutor's office.
There isn't? But I'm sure once before in this court... Oh, yeah!
I told you, there is no such weakling!
My Scottish accent came out there when he got whipped. You bastard! What is that? A whip? I'm not sure I care for such a thing in my courtroom. The bailiff, remove that whip at once. Hold it. I have no objection to the whip. You don't? The prosecution can wield a whip or drink 17 cups of coffee. But there is still only one truth. This is what I stand to prove today.
This promises to be interesting, Mr. Miles Edgeworth. I had expected to face Phoenix right here today. But looking at you now, maybe this is what I have been waiting for all this time. Miles Edgeworth, I will not allow this chance to crush you slip through my fingers.
I see you brought your flair for the histrionic. Allow me to add to the things I'm not sure about. People acting bizarrely in my court. Oh.
The stage is set. Now continue with the proceedings, Your Honor.
Maple Leaf. Very well, Miss Von Karma. Please give an outline of this case. With as little whipping as possible.
I make no promises, fool.
Oh, fuck me.
The murder victim is the famed picture book author Miss Elise Donham. Her body was found in the Hasakura Temple courtyard. She had been stabbed through the torso by a ceremonial sword from a golden statue.
The sword in this picture is the weapon in question, correct? Very well. The court accepts this photo of the crime scene.
Thank you. There is no mistake. This was the doing of Sister Iris. After all, there is a witness to her crime.
Very well. Please bring this witness to the stand. And so it begins. My first and last trial as a defense attorney. Oh, for God's sake. Hey, it's you if you're on the witness stand.
Shut up. Witness, state your name and occupation.
Hold on here. I'm not sure about being not sure if I care for this at all. Witness, please stand up nice and straight. If I recall correctly, there are a few milk crates in the defendant's lobby for our back pain plagued witness. Bailiff, fetch a crate for this poor lady, please. Much better.
Yes. Once again, your name and occupation, please. Little old me? Well, I'm the head nun of Hasakura Temple on Eagle Mountain. My name is Bikini. You got it? Bikini. Nice to meet everyone.
But you don't appear to be wearing a bikini right now. Oh!
The quorum is the garden of holy judgment.
I skipped a hockey game for this?
Those with lechery in their hearts should leave the sanctuary at once.
You want me to leave?
No need to get your bikinis in a twist. Let me tell you, I'm a sight to behold in summer.
I do not wear a bikini. Only on Tuesdays. In any case, witness, I hear that you saw the crime take place on the night in question.
That's right. I can still hardly believe it myself, so to be honest. There's no way your little Iris could do anything like that.
Let us hear what you have to say then. First, tell us about your own movements that night, eh?
They said a boot.
I think the Canadians and the Scots are the only ones that say that, because the Scots say a boot as well.
I see.
Granted, from what I've heard of the Canadian accent, they don't actually say a boot. It's more like about.
Yeah, without.
Yeah, without.
That night, I was helping an acolyte with her training in her temple, but... Well, as you can see, my back likes to act up, violently. So, I left Iris to help the acolyte and returned to Hasakura Temple. There's no bath in their temple, you see, and I needed a long, hot soak. It was after I finished, just after I was heading back, that's when I saw it. You left Iris there, huh?
So it was simply coincidence that you found yourself returning to Hasakura Temple.
Yes, you could say that. If my back hadn't been in so much pain, I would have stayed at the Inner Temple.
That sounds like a pretty important statement she just made.
There is only one problem with the testimony that I can see. And you're not about to fall at the first hurdle, now are you, Miles Edgeworth?
Mr. Edgeworth, please begin your cross-examination.
You said you left Iris to help with Maya, huh? But according to her testimony, she never left. Go back. Present her no, go. The third statement. Yeah, because Iris said in her testimony that she stayed. She never left.
Objection! Witnesses have to undergo their own trials, I'm afraid. The defendant's fate rests in the powers of observation and memory, after all.
Well, don't worry. I'm more than up to the task. I'm a woman of faith, after all. The head honcho of Hazakura Temple.
I don't think I can ever imagine a priest calling themselves the head honcho.
Yeah, that just sounds weird.
That'd be like, Yami-Yugi and Yu-Gi-Oh! Going, I am the head honcho of Egypt!
Ugh.
Let's not give little Karibo ideas, since he's not even at that arc yet.
Yeah, I know, right?
Anyway, in that case, Miss Honcho, I'd like you to explain something for me. The discrepancy between your testimony and that of the defendant, Iris. She claims that after ringing the lights-out bell, she went back and stayed in her room. Which means she did not go to the Inner Temple at all.
No! She said that? Objection! A defendant or a witness?
I bet IRL Sonic Fan 39 Returns looks like Edgeworth. I do, actually. I've actually cosplayed him a couple of times.
Really?
Yeah. Well, you've seen me cosplay.
Like resembling, yeah, give it, instead of like blonde hair with gray hair, sure.
Yeah, I wear a wig, obviously.
Yeah. A defendant or a witness? Who is more likely to lie, do you suppose? The defendant is simply lying to cover her back.
Objection! But that is completely illogical. The murder was committed in the courtyard of Hazakura Temple. Claiming that she went to the Inner Temple would make for a much better alibi.
But that is odd. Whatever the reason, I can't believe that she would lie.
She does indeed have honest eyes.
All people lie. That is my belief.
Well, it's true.
Yep.
Why am I the only one being whipped in here? You got something against Canadians? Anyway, neither the witness nor the defendant have any reason to lie. Which means we must call your memory into question.
Dear. You're older than me and you want me to play the game, do you?
Oh, no. Edgeworth did not have blonde hair when he was younger. In the anime, it was demonstrated that even as a kid, he had grey hair.
Yeah.
He's just naturally grey for whatever reason.
Yeah, anime hair.
Which Ace Attorney character would Shadow cosplay? That's a good question, actually.
Me? Probably Mia or Iris.
Yeah.
Or the very least Emma Sky.
Oh yeah, Emma Sky.
Yeah, I can definitely cosplay as Emma. For those of you who don't know, Emma Sky is from Rise from the Ashes in the first game. Yeah, and she then she became a mainstay after that. She was in Ace Attorney 4 and 6. Yeah, Apollo Justice and Dual Destinies. Oh. I think she was in Spirit of Justice, but I'm not sure. She wasn't in Dual Destinies. Oh right, sorry, Oh well, that isn't exactly what I... My memory is perfect, crystal clear, especially in winter. Then I suppose it's too early to end this cross-examination, eh? Mr. Edgeworth, if you're going to question the memory of this witness, you will need to show a more decisive piece of evidence. Understood, Your Honor. I was naive to think that alone would do the trick. Then please add your comments about Iris to the testimony. Boot to the head. I'm sorry, but again, the Scots are like the only other people on the planet that say a boot. It makes me laugh. We have a boot to the head.
I want to do this like in a Scottish accent. And please add your comments about Iris to the testimony. Anyway.
Oh, God.
About... And let us return to the cross-examination.
That night I was helped. No. Next. Nope. Aha, let's go back. That's new. Yeah, you said that she dressed exactly as she'd been. Well, why do we have her hood? We have her hood.
Objection! Witness, let's get one thing straight. The defendant whom you claim to have met, she was wearing this demon warding hood, correct?
Of course. That is a very important piece of clothing, I'll have you know. Oh, wait a minute. Objection! Objection! Hold it right there! Why do you have that?
Because I'm magic, bitch. That is the question of the day, now isn't it, Miss Von Karma? I'll have you know that this hood was given to someone as a gift. This hood was given to someone as a gift that night. Etra's sprites look so weird inverted.
I know.
But the lights out bell was wrong.
What?
You know where I'm going with this, don't you? If the witness had seen the defendant as she claims, then the Iris she saw should have been missing this very hood.
Well! Look at that!
How many boxes were there? Can someone tell me what this is all about? This is not about diplomacy. This is about dignity. This is about respect.
This is about respect.
You guys are dicks. Release Terence and Philip, or we'll give you something to cry about. It's not a bad feeling at all, exposing contradictions like this. Now I understand that happy look on Wright's face every time he does it. Order! Order in this aisle!
Sister. This hood. You have a spare ones around the temple, don't you? Spares? Well... I do tend to make too many of them.
I see! A stockpile! A surplus of hoods, eh?
Each nun is only given one hood. This should be the only hood that Iris owned.
Then this is quite strange. Oh, my saints of Maple!
If there was a surplus of hoods, then she could have worn one of those. There is one contradiction here.
No contradiction, you mean?
Yeah. There is no contradiction here. Sorry. I can English good.
I'm sorry to break this to you, Miss Von Karma, but you won't get away that easily. Discrepancies such as this will sow seeds in any human heart. The seeds of doubt. Witness! While I don't wish to call your testimony into doubt, you must give every detail with precision.
I'm not sure I'm comfortable going along with this.
Did she seriously just whip the judge? Yes, she did. Solar Moon Clips. Have you ever played Ace Attorney? Go back to the second game. The poor old bastard gets it I don't know how many times.
Well, to be fair, this is their first time seeing Ace Attorney because they were new last time, so.
I see. But yeah. Yeah, he got whipped so many damn times that while we were playing it, we just made it that the judge was into it.
Yeah, just whip it. Whip it good. Sister, you shall continue with your testimony. Tell us what you saw after finishing your bath on your way back to the temple.
Those seeds of doubt are sprouting in the judge's heart. They just need a little more stimulation to bear fruit. Contradictory stimulation.
I finished my bath around 11, and I thought I should return to the inner temple. And as I was walking back, I heard a noise from the courtyard. I took a look, and Iris was Mystic Elise, and with that sword of all things. Mystic Elise was staying in the corner room, which faces out into the courtyard. The stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out of her window. Pushed out of her window? I don't know about that.
You saw a truly terrible sight, didn't you? If I was in your place, then it would be much like Miss Von Karma whipping Mr. Edgeworth in two in court. And me seeing it all from this very chair. Well, something like that. This judge. His imagination is about as vivid and creative as Detective Gumshoe. Damn Canadians.
I would look the fool if I commented on such foolishness. Anyway, this case is mine, Miles Edgeworth.
Calling everyone by their full name. Can't you do something about that habit of yours?
Yeah, being pushed out the window? That's not what it said in Elise's autopsy report.
Objection!
Impressive logic. That's what I'd like to say anyway.
Oh, please do. My brain is something else, especially in winter.
However, I think you're overlooking one thing. Miss Von Karma, would you be so kind as to take another look at the autopsy report?
The autopsy report?
The victim did fall from a height of 10 feet. However, this fall was after she was killed. That's right! It says after death right here! Right here! The scene the witness claims to have seen is contradictory. If the defendant stabbed and killed the victim there in the courtyard, how did the victim then go on to take a 10-foot fall? Order! Order! The victim was killed and then fell. If that's the case, then the victim must have been killed in her room. Don't you agree?
That is the logical conclusion. Yes, that's right. The victim must have been stabbed by the defendant in her own room. And she was then thrown out of a window down the courtyard below.
Objection. Were there any signs of a struggle in Miss Donim's room? She was stabbed with a sword. That would leave a bloodstain, wouldn't you agree? Well, Miss Von Karma, was there any blood?
No traces of blood were found in the victim's room.
Will you seriously stop whipping me with Matt? My brother's into that stupid shit, not me!
Tough shit.
Oh, fuck me. Your whip has just caused traces of blood to be found on my glorious playoff beard. However, if there was no blood in the room, then your claim... Oh, for fuck's sake!
I'm sure there's no need for me to go over this. Because I'm sure your honor is well aware of when a stab wound produces the most blood.
When it produces the most blood?
Very little blood is actually lost at the moment of a blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost from a body, that would be when the blade is removed.
Indeed. With the weapon still in place, it acts like a lid on the wound. That's true! With the weapon still in the body, there wouldn't be much bleeding. Yeah, actually, if you're stabbed with a knife, do not take the knife out.
Yeah.
A perfectly reasonable line of thinking.
We have come to a conclusion then. The victim was thrown out the window with the sword still in place. This removes all the contradictions.
Order! 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 I must admit that this is a probable version of events. I'd expect no less from Franziska von Karma. She locates and takes control of every vital point. It seems that we need a clearer testimony from the witness. Remove all supposition on your part and tell us only the facts, please. What the? Witness! Please! Remain standing on the crate!
Don't go selling me short now. The weight of the winter snow has bent me out of shape. Especially my back and my mood. Sister, please give us your testimony. I will give you a vigorous massage once we are finished here.
With the whip?
Oh boy. All right, all right. When I looked across the scene, the store was already in place. Thinking about it now, I didn't actually see her stab Mystic Elise. I've never seen so much blood before. That's when I fainted. You can't blame me, can you? And when I woke, Mystic Ami was stabbing Mystic Elise through the back.
This all confirms Miss Von Karma's theory.
Von Karma strive for nothing but perfection. Putting together such facts is nothing for me. You should know that, Miles Edgeworth.
Perfection is an impossibility, Franziska Von Karma. And I'm here to teach you just that.
You'd never seen so much blood before, huh? Hold it!
Hold it! So you're saying that you saw the victim's blood?
That's right! Some of it had splattered onto Iris, too. When the defendant was arrested, she was meditating in her room. And her blood-flecked clothing was neatly folded in the corner.
What? Her clothes were blood-flecked as well? That seems quite conclusive to me. What should I do? Press this point further?
Yep.
Going back to your previous statement, you said that you saw a little bleeding when the victim was stabbed. But now you say you saw the victim bleeding?
Well, I say that what I saw is what I saw.
What did you see?
Maybe I didn't see the poor woman get stabbed. But I saw the girl pull the sword out of her, plain as day.
Pulling the sword out?
Well, it wasn't exactly pulling. It was more like it came out.
Witness, you will add this statement to your testimony.
Oh, was that important?
What do you think? More important than you can imagine.
I saw the instant in which the blade plunged into the hip was smoothly drawn out. Oh, really? Show the sword! Because it's pronged.
Objection. Sister Bikini, you are a reliable witness. At least I'd like to think so. But there are too many contradictions here.
What do you mean? You make it sound as though I'm a liar. But you are a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you.
Oh, not again.
What contradictions are you talking about?
In the scene that the witness claims to have seen, the weapon was thrust up its hilt into the victim. Furthermore, the killer withdrew the weapon smoothly from the body. However, both of these are complete impossibilities. What do you mean? Please explain. Oh!
Explain yourself!
I was literally just about to say that! For fuck's sake! To start with, do you think it would be possible to stab someone to the hilt with this? No matter how I look at the defendant, she doesn't appear strong enough for that.
Objection! Doesn't appear? What meaningless dribble? I, too, may appear to be weak and frail.
You're anything but.
But I can crush men under my heel and make them weep, should I choose.
The objection stands! I went a little back there, I must admit. Objection! That isn't the only issue here. If this sword was truly stabbed into the body up to the hilt, well, just look at all the branches on it. It certainly wouldn't come out smoothly.
That's...
We also have the problem of the amount of bleeding. It's true that when a blade is left in the body, it acts as a plug of sorts. However, when the weapon is shaped like this, it's an entirely different story. The wound would be too large for the blade to completely stop the bleeding.
Objection! That's nothing more than conjecture. In reality, the victim was stabbed through this Shichishito. Even a weapon of this nature may still sometimes slide out smoothly and may still sometimes stop the blood loss.
Objection. I'm not finished. There is still one more conclusive contradiction. You've still got more? This one is simple. If this sword really was thrust in all the way to the hilt, why is there only blood on the tip of it? Yeah, blood's sticky. If this witness is telling the truth, then there should be blood along the entire length of the sword.
No!
Order! Oh, for fuck!
Bravo, Miles Edgeworth.
Can I please get a word in here?
Raising this many contradictions from a single piece of evidence. All the other attorneys I know could maybe manage one, if that.
But what does this all mean? You have proven contradictions regarding the murder weapon, but having come this far, there can only be one answer. Will you two seriously stop interrupting me?
And that is?
The weapon used to kill the victim was not the Shishishito. What?
A foolishly foolish idea born from the foolish mind of a foolhardy foolish fool.
And I know how much you love tongue twisters.
Shut up. Don't remind me. Please, God, no.
Let me examine this again. What was it that made us think this sword was the murder weapon?
Well, it's because Miss Dagami was holding it.
Exactly. However, if you reflect on this, that is the only basis we have to assume such a thing. The impression left by the scene was just too strong. That is what influenced us. It influenced us to believe the Shishishito was the murder weapon. Order! Order! Oh, for...
So maybe the Shishishito was not the murder weapon. Even if that is the case, it changes nothing, Miles Edgeworth. The sister here saw everything. She saw the defendant stab the victim with a sword-like object.
That's true! Your response, Mr. Edgeworth? If that is so, I would like the prosecution to answer the obvious question it raises. The obvious question? Yes. Namely, where did the real murder weapon disappear to? It goes without saying the police searched the main hall and surrounding area. Perhaps the prosecution can enlighten us as if a sword-like object was found.
That's...
Answer the question, Miss Von Karma!
No evidence of that kind was found.
Another mystery to throw onto the pile. A trial without a murder weapon is a tricky beast.
Excuse me, could I say something? I just remembered something, actually. What is it, sister? I was just thinking, it's possible that just maybe what actually happened was, it was just over there.
What exactly are you going on about here?
The murder weapon, I mean. Maybe. I think I might know where the sword was disposed of.
You what?
Well then. I think we need to hear testimony from you one more time, sister.
Impossible. What else could this old woman have seen?
I saw the murder weapon at around 11 p.m. And after asking that it be reported, I went out to the main gate. And there, I saw tracks that indicated the snowmobile had been used. It takes 15 minutes to walk to Dusky Bridge, but less than 5 using one of those. Maybe they threw the weapon into Eagle River and came back while I was knocked out. Iris could have done that. She can drive a snowmobile after all.
Witness, please tell us everything you know right away next time.
Well, I'm not in the best of shape with what my bad back in my age, you know.
How old is she, actually? 48.
48?
It's not that old.
Huh. Quite. There were indeed snowmobile tracks in front of the main gate. Here's a photograph.
A snowmobile, eh? I see. Well, it certainly is an interesting theory. Never seen a snowmobile with treads on it before like that.
Yeah. The tracks begin in front of Hazakura Temple and run all the way to Dusky Bridge. Thank you. That solves your pesky little problem, yes? The Eagle River's current is quite swift, meaning that it doesn't freeze over in winter, making it the perfect place to dispose of the murder weapon.
Did she really go to the river to dispose of the murder weapon? Mr. Edgeworth, your cross-examination, please.
Well, if she did use the snowmobile to, to take the sword, drive it all the way back to Dusky Bridge and all the way back, there would have been 2 tracks, not 1. So, go to the next one. Yeah, see? Present the tracks, because there would have been 2 tracks.
I admit this photograph proves something. It proves that the snowmobile was used on the night of the murder.
You finally accepted the inevitable, it seems, Miles Edgeworth.
However, if what the witness says is true, then why is there only 1 set of tracks?
What do you mean?
Iris left Hazakura Temple, threw the weapon into the river, and then returned. If this was the case, then naturally there should be 2 sets of tracks in the snow. Those from heading out to the bridge and those from coming back.
You're right. You're forgetting one thing, Miles Edgeworth. On the night of the murder, it was snowing. The tracks leading to the bridge were erased by the snowfall. This removes your precious contradiction, now doesn't it?
I see. While she was at the river, the snow stopped, leaving just the return tracks in the snow.
What do you have to say to that now, Miles Edgeworth?
Is there a flaw in her theory? This idea that the snowfall covered 1 set of tracks.
There's a contradiction.
The tracks to the river were covered by snow. What a nice theory. However, Miss Von Karma, that is impossible.
Would you care to explain why there is a rude index finger currently pointed in my general direction?
Do you want it to be my middle finger, bitch? No need. The evidence will do all the talking for me. On the night of the murder, the killer went to and returned from Dusky Bridge. In order to dispose of the murder weapon, the outgoing tracks were erased by snow. Or so claims Miss Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth, please present the evidence to the contrary, eh? Evidence that the outgoing tracks were not covered by snow.
The weather data.
Take that! Witness, please tell us again what time it was when you witnessed the crime.
Like I said, it was around 11.
Of course, this means the weapon was thrown away after that time, correct? On that note, please take a look at this data. It is the weather report for Eagle Mountain on the night of the murder. The weather report? Snow started to fall at 7 p.m., but it stopped at around 10:50. Therefore, when the sister witnessed the crime at 11 p.m., the snow had already stopped falling. It is impossible for any tracks for any tracks made after that time to have been covered up. Order! Order! Very well then. It looks like Miss Von Karma's claim has been snowed in. Okay, I deserve that.
It's too soon to be closing this trial due to snow. Miles Edgeworth, how pathetic of you to rely on weather of all things. Answer me this then. When is a weather report ever correct?
No. You've got it all wrong. This isn't a forecast. This is actual data. Yeah, well,
Forecast, data, all weather reports have some inaccuracies.
no, it's the data from the weather afterwards, you bimbo!
It may have still been snowing in the vicinity well past 11 p.m.
It's true. We cannot be totally sure, eh? What? How did she pull that off? It's data, not a fucking forecast! It had stopped snowing at Hazakura Temple when the murder took place. You need to provide conclusive evidence of this. I've come this far. There's no turning back now. Very well. I too cannot allow any doubt to remain concerning this testimony.
Huh. You can't back down, can you? Such perfectionist, Miles Edgeworth. Says you!
Very well then, Mr. Edgeworth. Where is your evidence that it had already stopped snowing when the victim was killed?
The crime photo.
Take that! Ultimately, it all comes down to one point. That being, whether or not it was snowing in that courtyard when the victim was stabbed.
That's right, but proving that is...
incredibly easy.
Huh?
If we want to know whether it was snowing or not, this photo will tell us everything. Of course, I am referring to the photo of the crime scene. As you can see, everything is covered with snow, with just one exception.
And that is?
The victim herself, Miss Elise Donim. You eat glasses or something? Why is there no snow on top of her? The answer is simple. It had stopped snowing when she was killed, that's why. In other words, if the killer really did go to the Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon, then in this photograph there should be two sets of tracks. Order! Order! Just what are... Oh!
Just what are you suggesting, Miles Edgeworth?
To be honest, I'm not entirely sure myself. This is simply what all the facts point to. That night, someone used the snowmobile to leave Hazakura Temple. From the tracks left, it can be understood that they were heading for Dusky Bridge. At that time, it was still snowing.
Of course it was, because those tracks were erased by the snow.
Then, when the person returned to Hazakura Temple, the snow had stopped. Thus, the return tracks remained.
Can I say something? This all sounds a bit fishy to me. What does, sister? There is only one key for the snowmobile. Furthermore, on the night in question, we know that the defendant had it. The key was found in her room after the murder. Which can only mean that night, Iris used the snowmobile to go to the inner temple.
But Iris said that she never went there. I should probably press on this point some more when I get the chance.
The snowmobile can't cross the suspension bridge. So she must have left it on the Hazakura side of the bridge and crossed on foot.
That sounds right.
But what's odd is, when I left Iris and returned to Hazakura Temple, I didn't see anything near Dusky Bridge. You must have just failed to see it, sister. Maybe, but when I made it back to the Hazakura Temple, it was there, by the main gate. The snowmobile, I mean. I know what I saw. It was covered in snow, too.
But that isn't possible! Order! Order! Order in the court! What does this all mean? So then what was the snowmobile used for? It It wasn't taken by the defendant when she went to the inner temple. If it had been, then the witness couldn't possibly have seen it by the gate. Furthermore, it wasn't used by the killer to dispose of the murder weapon. If that was the case, there should be 2 sets of tracks in this photo. All we know is this. After it stopped snowing, someone used the snowmobile to return to Hazakura Temple. I never thought a simple snowmobile could cause so much trouble. I think we've learned all we can from this witness.
Yes. I have nothing more to add. I told you everything that I know.
But then, that still leaves us with the same problem. If only there was someone, a witness who could testify to having seen the snowmobile. A witness, huh? Was there no one out walking perhaps near Dusky Bridge on that night? Oh no.
Oh boy. I don't think that's likely. Oh, we know somebody. It was cold enough to freeze your ears off. Only an idiot would go out wandering in that. Funny you mention that. Unless they had something really important to do.
That's a shame. Hold on. Something is coming to me. An idiot may well have gone wandering out in that subarctic night. Your Honor, actually, there just might be one individual who may be able to be of help to us. Really?
You know someone who might have seen the snowmobile on the night of the murder?
I don't know for sure if he saw it or not. But there are 2 things about him that do come to mind. Which are? First, that he saw something incredible on the night of the murder.
And the second being?
This individual that I'm thinking of went wandering outside on that cold night. In other words, he's our kind of idiot. Mr. Edgeworth, who is this idiot you're talking about?
Larry.
Unfortunately.
Yep.
Take that! This guy must be a product of the Jean-Luc de Laduc Guide to Obnoxious French Painting! This is Larry Butts, a disciple of the victim Elise Donin. Her student? Interesting. And why would he be wandering about outside on that night of the murder? That's... I could tell them all about his designs for Iris, but it may cost us his credibility as a witness before I even call him. He is, after all, an artist. He was perhaps searching for something in the snowy scenery that would move him, although I cannot guarantee that this is the reason.
And so, this unfortunate, unreliable-looking man. What exactly was it that he saw?
I intend to extract that from him right here in this courtroom. Summon this youth as a witness immediately!
I have no choice, do I?
I believe he is in the gallery for this trial. It will not take long to summon him. Very well! Larry. You may have escaped me yesterday, but today I'm going to get everything out of you. The court will now adjourn for a 20-minute break. Miss Von Karma, please see to preparing the next witness.
Understood, Your Honor.
Good. Now I'm off to Tim Hortons. Well then, court is now in recess. I actually had Tim Hortons on Monday.
Really?
Their stuff's good, especially their donuts.
We're still going.
Yep.
And this is, if you thought, dealing with Francisco's whip would be annoying, wait till we deal with Larry's test of patience.
Ugh, try voicing him.
Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm not really sure what to say.
Iris, we only have 20 minutes. There are 2 things which I need to ask you before we reconvene.
Alright, I'll help you in any way I can.
First, about that night. You really didn't go to the inner temple, correct? The last witness claims to have met and talked with you in the training hall. Either you or Sister Bikini is lying.
Mr. Edgeworth, is it just as I said yesterday? Until the incident occurred, I was in my own room in Hazakura Temple.
Very well. The second thing, then. That night, the temple snowmobile was used in between the times Sister Bikini returned to the main hall and when she bore witness to the murder. Sometime between 10:30 and 11 p.m. that night. Were you the one who used the snowmobile?
There's only one key for the snowmobile. The only person who could have used it was me.
So it was you. But why? What made you go out to Dusky Bridge?
I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth.
Iris.
I can't tell you about that yet.
Yet?
Not until her safety is confirmed.
Her?
The safety of the Acolyte.
The Acolyte, huh? She must be talking about Maya. Iris, look me in the eye and tell me the truth. Did you kill Elise Donim?
No matter who or what may come, I could never take a life.
As I thought. No psycho locks. Very well. It is my job to get the truth. You'll discover this yourself soon enough. Wow, that was a good donut! The court will now reconvene. Miss Von Karma, where is the witness?
During the break, a man was detained for suspicious behavior in the gallery.
Suspicious behavior?
He was sketching something very intensely.
Dare I ask what the witness was sketching when he was detained?
He drew a terrifying woman armed with a demonic face and a vicious whip.
Well, I can see where he got the artistic inspiration. I can only presume that his intention was to capture you. Oh!
Hold on, there's a bit of lag. Anyway, it's time to drag this pathetic excuse for an artist before the court.
Oh, come on, I was only making a compliment.
Maurice Donim, I hope you're ready. Get in here.
It would seem that whip is going to see plenty more use today. Ow!
Your sketch is in contempt of this court.
Hey, I was just artistically rendering. Oh!
You have to use your quagmire voice. You tried to run away from the bailiff who was trying to hand you your subpoena, correct?
Look, I'm nothing but a fledgling artist trading out in the mountains. Yeah, that's crap.
Nah.
I'm only down here in the city because I ran out of green paint. Well, to use the technical term of the color, Viridian. What Viridian say? Larry, this isn't an art store, now is it? I know! I graduated junior high, okay? Look, art is all about working in the fields, isn't it? Working in the fields? I presume he wanted to say field work. I hope. That's it! Thanks, buddy! It's kind of sad that I was able to understand his mangled train wreck of a sentence. I just happened to stop in here and found a wonderful new model! So see, I've got nothing to do with this trial, at all! I expect all your faces to be red when you realize this mistake! I dare Sonic Hunter never turns to see giggity after one of Larry's quotes. Make all your faces bright red! Giggity giggity goo! There. Or to use the technical term, Crimson Lake. Ow! Oh! What did I do?
Stop your pathetic babbling and testify like a man!
Refrain from whipping me, Miss Von Karma. Cross-whipping is as bad as cross-checking. Witness, that is all your fault. Testify, now! This is too much for me, man.
Man up, bitch!
I was at the lodge out in the mountains, looking up at the stars that night. I walked to the bridge a number of times, but I didn't see a snowmobile. I didn't see anyone at the bridge that night either. The girl I was waiting for didn't show up. My teacher died on me. I'm all alone now. Aren't I, Edgy?
You saw Phoenix Wright, dumbass!
Witness, please refrain from talking directly to the lawyers during your testimony. I'm just a nobody. Nothing but a small, worthless man, aren't I? And why wasn't I asked for my name and occupation or anything else? Mr. Edgeworth, this man seems to have quite a severe inferiority complex. He's recently been the cause of numerous incidents. I think he's finally realized for himself just how much of a nuisance he's been to other people.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's right. I'm behind everything, every case. Watch out, okay? Just touching me will make you eternally unhappy.
Giggity giggity go!
Giggity giggity go!
Right, if you're done with your silly Family Guy impressions, let us proceed with the cross-examination with no touching. Thank you. We can delve into other details at a later time.
Yeah, you say you didn't see anybody? You saw Phoenix Wright, dumbass! You saw Phoenix!
Objection. Larry Butts. I can understand why you might want to throw your old life away. You're pretty pathetic and you cause all sorts of trouble. I'm sorry. But having realized just how much of a nuisance you have been, that could be considered a step in the right direction. Hey, G, are you trying to console me? It certainly doesn't sound that way to me. However, I cannot forgive you for simply turning away from the incidents you create. You're totally pinning this on me. Now then, let us talk about the night of the murder. Sister Bikini, after seeing the murder take place, asked Phoenix Wright to report it. Thus, he headed for the public phone by the bridge. There, he happened across a certain nefarious individual. You, Larry Butts. That's right, me, in the flesh.
Giggity.
Well, listen carefully, witness. It doesn't matter if you change your name. So long as you remain pretty pathetic, you'll continue to cause these incidents. That reality will not change.
Thanks?
But what do you want me to do then? Larry, what you need to change is your inner self. But for now, what you saw that night, testifying truthfully about the one issue is all I need from you. Edgy, I think I've finally woken up! Well, I guess I could still be sleeping. But anyway, I'll do it. I'll testify. Well, I'm not sure this will go especially well. No, it won't. I'll ask again then, witness. I'll ask again then, witness. What did you see on the night of the murder? I went to the shack at around 9, so it would have been about 10:30 p.m. I was lying under my bedding when a white flash almost blinded me. I looked at the window and Dusky Bridge was on fire. There was still some thunder, but I went right away to check it out. That's when I ran into Nick. You certainly saw quite a lot, didn't you?
So, what happened to the bridge after it caught on fire?
The bridge was made of wood. Take a wild fucking guess. It was like me after a 3-day stint chasing a girl. It totally burned out, like almost totally gone. I mean, trying to cross the burning remains was what caused Nick to fall.
What did you say?
Oh, don't worry. It's nothing life-threatening. He just caught a cold. Yeah, from falling 40 feet and falling into a river.
Yeah, I was gonna say a 40-foot drop into the freezing cold river in winter.
He must have had a lucky rabbit's foot jammed up his ass.
I never know what that meant, if he should be called lucky or unlucky.
A little from column A, a little from column B.
Oh, reminds me how in Apollo Justice, Phoenix got hit by a car and he only managed a broken foot. Like, what?
No, Mr. Edgeworth, please commence your cross-examination.
Can you tell us more about the thunder you saw, Larry?
Hold it!
Hold it. You said right away, but exactly how long after the strike was that? The lightning fell and then the bridge caught on fire. Maybe around 5 minutes? I mean, I suddenly thought, gotta go check this out.
How far is the small shack you were in from the bridge?
Hold on, well, it had pretty much stopped snowing. I guess about a 5-minute walk? And how did Dusky Bridge look when you got there? Like I'd recovered a piece of my childhood. I mean, not even the bonfire kids make during school camping trips can compare. Well, should I press him for a little more info?
Why didn't you call anybody?
Larry, let me ask you one thing. What is it, Edgy? What's with the serious face? Why didn't you call anyone? And more to the point, when do I ever not do a serious face?
This is Edward we're talking about.
Huh? What do you mean? Normally, when faced with a towering inferno, I get that reference. One would try and tell someone. There is a public phone right by Dusky Bridge, correct? No, I'm referring to a movie called Tower Inferno, before anyone asks.
Yeah.
I wasn't referencing another burning tower.
Yeah.
Well, of course, I thought of doing that. So then, let's hear why you didn't. Yeah, okay, a reason. My reason... it isn't that I didn't try to tell anyone, I just didn't have time to, okay?
New testimony coming up. Really? Nick showed up less than a minute late, did he? Well, not what the weather data said.
Objection!
Your very existence being a contradiction, I'm not sure if I can grasp this or not.
Ouch!
What the hell, Edgy? You make it sound like I'm some sort of alien. But your testimony is conclusively contradictory. The problem here is time. I've never been the best timekeeper, you know. 3 minutes after Billy leaves on foot, you follow him on your bicycle. What?
Huh?
How long does it take you to catch up with him? Terrible at those.
Oh, math problems.
This is much more simple. You saw the lightning strike Dusky Bridge, and immediately went to see what had happened. Is this correct? Yeah, well, I wasted about 5 minutes first, but more or less. I have the weather data from the night of the murder here. According to this, the lightning fell at 10:45 p.m. You say it takes less than 5 minutes from the shack to Dusky Bridge, meaning you probably got there at around 11 p.m. That all sounds about right, I guess. And then Nick showed up and did his falling act. This is impossible.
What do you mean?
11 p.m. is when the murder occurred in Hazakura Temple. Thus, Wright was still there in the courtyard. There's no way that Larry could have encountered him at Dusky Bridge at that time. Excuse me, I have an objection. You do? Edgy, how many times do I have to say this? I'm not Larry. I'm Maurice Donut. Ow!
It has not been proven that the murder occurred at 11 p.m.
Never thought I'd say this, but thank you, Franziska.
Thank you, Franzi. The sister only said around 11. In which case, it could have been earlier than that.
Watch your footing there, Miss Franziska von Karma. The slope ahead is slippery. For there is still no way that Wright could have been at Dusky Bridge at 11 p.m.
And why not?
It is clearly written here in the weather data report. It took around 30 minutes for the bridge to burn out. Therefore, the bridge must have been burning until at least 11:15 p.m. Which means, what exactly? Wright did not see the bridge while it was being consumed by the flames that night. In fact, he did not arrive at the scene until the flames had died down. Larry, you arrived at the bridge at 11 p.m., but Wright did not make it there until at least 11:15. I suggest you stop hiding things and just tell us the whole truth. Now then, what happened during these missing 15 minutes? I feel like I just got brutally woken up by toilet splashback. Ew!
Gross.
I guess I was oh, it does not.
I know, I guess I was still sleeping at all. So there was a missing 15 minutes prior to meeting Phoenix Wright. I hardly see that much of a problem.
Yeah, not much of a problem at all. Really. The bridge is burning before your eyes and there is a phone right next to it. Why then did you not report the accident? Yes, witness! Why didn't you? Where were you simply to... were you there simply to watch the bridge burn? And therein lies the problem. For even after the bridge had burned out, he was still there. Staring into space, this witness didn't even attempt to fulfill his civic duty.
That's what it sounds like.
Ah, but this is Larry we are talking about, and even he is incapable of being so stupid.
Damn!
Which means there has to be a reason for his inaction. Edgy, I think it's about time I got serious with you, dude. Just as I thought, you've been playing with us all this time. Listen, I'm going to tell you everything. Are you sure you want to hear it all? Yes. I may really say it this time. Ow!
Then say it!
Very well. I have a terribly bad feeling about this, however. Let's have the witness finally give us the whole truth. Now, for this 15-minute gap, what were you doing, witness? I'm a donim. I'm an artist. What do you think I was doing? Sketching in front of the bridge. I was whipped up in a frenzy of art. The shock and awe that I was feeling, I transferred it all directly onto the page. Before I realized that the flames had gone out, and he came running up.
Sketching, huh?
I suppose artists can be strange folk. That's right. I'm willing to sacrifice everything in order to draw the perfect sketch. Including the truth from the sound of it. Mr. Edgeworth, has this removed the last of your doubts? Not at all, Your Honor. One very large doubt still remains. And what would that be? This is a surprisingly believable story, especially considering the source. So why did he think he needed to hide it from us until now? I intend to drag the reason out of him. You'll regret this, Edgy.
Yeah. Sketching, huh? Elaborate.
Hold it! Sketching? The burning bridge? The burning bridge and everything that came with it! Came with it? You want to hear this from my lips, do you? You want to hear this from my lips, do you, Edgy? You'll regret this! The sketch of... Ow!
Enough. Just take that ridiculous sketch of yours out already, witness.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you mean. That does indeed to appear to be the fastest solution. I'll leave it to you, Mr. Edgeworth. What should I do? I've got a terrible feeling about the instant this sketch is revealed. The entire world may be changed of what is depicted there.
Look at the sketch.
Larry, I wonder if you could show us your sketch, please. Well, even I couldn't have imagined it turn out like this. Imagine what? That Larice Donim's debut would take place here, today, like this. Oh!
Show it, now!
Ouch! Okay, but steel yourselves. Brace yourselves, I mean. This is the world of Larice Donim. Ah. Well, so this is Dusky Bridge, correct? Quite a large bridge, isn't it? Your response, Miss Von Karma.
Yes, well... It's a better drawing than I expected.
Isn't it? Isn't it? I struggled to reproduce those flames. I really did. Yes, I'm sure you did. This is going to get ugly. No one has the courage to bring it up, it seems. This mysterious flying object. Larry. What? The burning bridge is fine. But what is that unfortunate-looking figure? Ah, you spotted that. I thought you might. However, much as I might want to ignore it, I can't. It's Iris, of course! Iris! I wish she'd take better care of herself. We have to plan for her future, you know? What would have happened to her if she'd injured herself flying like that? Larry, please answer this next question honestly. Okay. Are you really claiming to have seen this? Are you claiming to have seen the silhouette of the defendant flying over a bridge that was engulfed in flames? Yep, that's what I saw. That's why I drew it. I'm an artist, a real artist. Art, you? Hi. This girl, she's really high up in this picture.
Reminds you of the blooper in the anime. Wow, he's clearly on meth.
He's clearly on meth. Whoa! What was that for?
This is all a bad dream.
Girl, you're gonna make me barf up my donut.
I was hitting you on the cheek to test that theory.
Please whip your own cheek from now on if you wish to test your wild theories. Anyway, no court in law will ever acknowledge that people can fly, but they can fall with style, right?
Actually, there is some precedent for this.
She was flying pretty high, my sweet Iris. She was about 30 feet above the bridge, at least. It was really something to see. This has to be some kind of mistake. Mr. Edgeworth, please bring this witness back down to Earth. I don't think he's ever been to Earth, Your Honor. What? Me? This witness is your friend, is he not?
Accessory to foolishness, Miles Edgeworth.
Let us get back to the cross-examination, by force if necessary. Mr. Edgeworth, I expect you to expose the obvious contradiction here. Yes, Your Honor. Oh, fuck me. Looks like I've got another reason to remember this moron. Well, what do you think of my debut piece? Get that thing away from me! Wow.
Thank you.
Judgy. Now hurry up and cross-examine him, please!
Touchy, judgy. No.
There we go.
You mean this hood?
Objection. Larry, what did you really see that night? Not that I particularly care. In your position, that's just being irresponsible. I drew exactly what I saw. I gave you the whole dollar. That is the truth. If that is truly the case, then there is one thing that we can say for certain. What might that be? That the person who flew over the bridge could not have been the defendant, Iris. What? What do you mean? I don't understand. Ow!
A foolhardy folly of a foolish statement by an equally foolishly foolhardy fool.
I feel so bad for you.
I am actually getting better at this, though. I don't mind F's, but, like, any other consonant I got trouble with, but F's I'm fine with.
A foolhardy folly of a foolish statement by an equally foolishly foolhardy fool.
Yeah. F's I'm okay with. How exactly can you make this claim?
Tell us, Larry. According to this picture, the individual whom you say you saw was wearing a hood, correct? Of course she was! That rundown shack is quite away from the bridge. The hood is what told me that this floating angel was my Iris. The hood is my darling Iris, and Iris is my darling hood.
What?
Ow!
It seems there are bigger fools in this world than the one at the defense's bench.
Larry, there's something you need to be made aware of, apart from the fact I'm going to fucking suplex Franziska after this.
Oh, you wish.
On the night of the murder, Iris wasn't wearing her hood. She had given it to Wright as a gift. Are you going to change your story now? Perhaps suggest it was right who took flight? People are saying in the chat that Von Karma looks like Trixie. Well, Trixie... Well, they did base Turnabout Storm. Trixie was meant to be a parody of Franziska.
Yeah, just so you guys know, there is a MLP X Phoenix Wright crossover called Turnabout Storm, and Trixie is the prosecutor.
Yeah, it's actually really good.
Yeah, check it out. And there's also another MLP X Ace Attorney crossover going on right now. It's called The Elements of Justice. I'm not in it, but do check it out. It's really good.
What are you talking about? I think you understand what I mean just fine. Why? Why did Nick have Iris's hood? What? Edgy! What's going on with Iris and Nick? Why you, Nick? You dog! I do believe that this unbelievably mysterious sketch is destined to disappear, discredited and discarded, straight into the garbage!
Yeah, tongue twister for you.
Ow!
What is it now, witness?
It feels like I've been waiting 25 years for this very day to come. Edgy, today is the day I get to completely stupefy you. What? What is the meaning of your
I was gonna say, stupefy us in more ways than one?
What is the meaning of your outburst, witness? I hate to have to do this, but I have some definitive evidence. Don't mention definitive after playing Grand Theft Auto the Definitive Edition trilogy.
Please, no.
That pile of shit! Rockstar, you should be ashamed of yourselves.
Shame!
Definitive? There's nothing definitive about this game. It's nothing but a buggy mess.
Shame!
Shame on you, Rockstar. You used to be better.
Evidence?
Iris did indeed come flying over the burning bridge. And I, Maurice Donim, shall prove it! I didn't expect to ask this again, but we shall be needing your testimony once again, unfortunately. Tell us everything you know concerning the defendant as depicted in this sketch, and show us your evidence that this nightmare was actually a reality. Okay, I hope you're ready, Edgy, because I'm going to feed you a whopping serving of pain. You've been serving us a whopping serving of pain this whole time. Trust me.
Thank you, Edgeworth.
I love doing the thinking voice.
Me too.
When I reached Dusky Bridge, she was already gone. I was so worried, so I frantically searched all over for her. That led me to finding a beautiful crystal sphere, half buried in the snow. I'm sure that Iris was simply wearing a spare hood. After all, no one else could have lost a crystal sphere that night. Crystal sphere? This one. Pretty, isn't it? But finders keepers.
That sphere. Where did you find it?
Let me see, around here somewhere? Looks about right. And it was half buried in the snow. It pretty much stopped snowing by then. Oh no, Wishy, Larry's not a good guy or a bad guy, he's just an idiot.
He's just a dumbass.
But there was still some falling as I walked to the bridge. The court accepts this crystal sphere. That's mine, okay? I want it back afterward. There's something on it.
Huh?
Oh my! It's blood! What? Blood?
Thank you.
You ready, Edgy? By tomorrow morning, you'll be calling me Master Larry. Master's what you call a child. Yeah, I like the sound of that. No one's going to push me around anymore. And again, Master's what you call a child.
Yeah.
Didn't you want to be called Maurice Dotem only a few minutes ago?
You said that no one could have lost the crystal sphere that night, huh? On the very last statement? Yeah, look at the photo of Elise. You mean this sphere?
Larry, that night, there was someone who lost a crystal sphere. There was? Why would you call a child master? It's just, you know how, it's just, I don't know if it's common over in America, but in the UK it is, children tend to get called young master, as in, you know, like, your name, Master Marshall.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if it's a thing over here, but I know it's a thing over in the UK.
Yeah. Who was this stupid idiot?
Look in the mirror.
Miss Elise Donim, the mentor to a stupid idiot.
The victim?
I have a photo of her here. And on the end of her staff, you can see a familiar-looking crystal sphere. Hey! That's my photograph! Give it back! Ow!
A crystal sphere like that is quite easy to find.
The hell does the judge get off on this? That hurts!
I have just one like it on my brooch.
They look nothing alike. In any case, please take a look at this. This is the victim's staff found at the scene of the crime. Ah! The crystal sphere! It's gone! What? What? Just what does this mean? If anyone jumped or flew across that bridge that night, it certainly was not Irisa. After all, she was not wearing her hood. More importantly, the crystal sphere found at the landing site was not hers either. Also more important, humans cannot fly!
I know!
This isn't Dragon Ball Z. Humans can't fly! That means...
It would be cool, though.
It would be awesome. The one who flew and dropped the sphere was the victim, Miss Elise Donim!
Objection! A fool alongside another fool on a fool's errand to reach a foolish conclusion. First of all, this sketch, which I prefer to call a scribble, is ridiculous. People cannot fly, thus it is rejected.
You can't do that! I saw it with my own two... Eesh!
And the crystal sphere... This is nothing more than a red herring.
You honestly believe that?
Give it some thought, and I'm sure you'll realize it as well, Miles Edgeworth. Elise Donim was in her room on the night of the murder. There was no reason for her to go onto Dusky Bridge. Therefore, this sphere cannot be related to this case. That is all.
Objection! Miss Franziska von Karma. The only people who will accept that explanation are scatterbrains and clowns. Why are you pointing at me? The victim's crystal sphere was found near the bridge on the night of her murder. Yet you expect us to believe that it has nothing to do with this case?
Objection! That crystal sphere... It was probably thrown away at the bridge after the murder.
Why is there blood on it then? After the murder?
There is blood on the crystal sphere, isn't there? This naturally suggests that it was thrown away after the murder took place. The killer placed it there to throw the investigation off the scent. Which is the exact same reason that he drew that ridiculous sketch.
What? You mean... I'm the killer? No, wow!
All joking aside, just when did this crystal sphere appear near the foot of the bridge? Unless this can be proven in some way, I refuse to believe this is related to the case.
She makes a valid point. There was no evidence that Elise Donim left Hazakura Temple that night. However, if somehow this crystal sphere can be proven to have been dropped before the victim was killed, then this case is going to transform into something else entirely. Your response, Mr. Edgeworth? I want your final opinion on the disposition of this crystal sphere. If it's not related to the case, then this witness who you called will have nothing more than a monumental waste of time.
Prepare yourself for some very appropriate punishment, Miles Edgeworth.
Can I prove it? Can I prove that the crystal sphere was dropped before the murder took place?
Yes, you can.
Can I prove it? That isn't the issue. To simply prove it, that's the only option. That's what he'd do. That's the way Phoenix Wright would do this. Your Honor, allow me to prove something to you. I will prove that this crystal sphere is a vital link to solving this case. You will do what?
That look in your eyes. You remind me of Phoenix Wright when he is cornered.
That should come as no surprise, because right now I'm Phoenix Wright, and I am indeed cornered. I order you to present your evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Evidence that proves that the crystal sphere was indeed dropped before the murder.
The crime photo.
This crystal sphere, it was half buried in the snow, correct? That's right! If it hadn't stopped snowing, then it would have been game over. The snow would have totally covered it. That's all I needed to hear from you, Larry. Your testimony makes one thing quite clear. What? When the crystal sphere was dropped, it was snowing, even if it was ever so slightly.
Snowing?
On the other hand, let us look at the scene of the murder. As proven earlier today, there is no snow on the victim's body. Ugh! Therefore, the crystal sphere must have been dropped before the murder.
What?
Order! 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 On the night of the murder, the victim did indeed go to Dusky Bridge, and there, something occurred that caused the staff's crystal sphere to come loose. What? What could that have been? The sphere. There is some blood on it, isn't there? Allow me to raise a certain possibility at this junction. The real crime scene was near the foot of Dusky Bridge.
Objection! The murder didn't take place in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. Only a fool would suggest such a foolish piece of absolute foolishness.
Just who is the fool? Of which part is so foolish, Miss Von Karma?
Have you been paying any attention this whole time, Mr. Miles Edgeworth? The sister saw everything. She saw the victim being killed by the defendant in the Hazakura Temple courtyard.
Objection! That's not exactly true, now is it? To put it more precisely, what she saw was the murder weapon being removed from the victim's body.
That's the same thing!
No, it isn't! You said it yourself.
Very little blood is actually lost. At the moment of a blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost from a body, that would be when the blade is removed.
If that statement is the truth, then Dusky Bridge could very easily be the scene of the murder. The murder weapon was not removed, thus there was no bleeding.
Objection! You are forgetting one vital thing, Miles Edgeworth. At least Donham's body was found in Hazakura Temple. One foot, it takes 15 minutes to travel from Dusky Bridge to Hazakura Temple. You mean to suggest someone carried the body all the way?
I've made it this far. The only place to take this is to the end. Just need to prove that my version of the events is also perfectly plausible. Now, if the defense is ready, the court would like to have an explanation. Please show us the method by which the victim's body was carried to Hazakura Temple.
The tracks, photo, the snowmobile.
Take that! On that snowy night, there is one way that one way that a body could have been moved. The snowmobile. As we know, the snowmobile was used that night. It was explained as having been used to dispose of the murder weapon, but it could also have been used to carry a body. Order! Order! Ouch!
This is completely unacceptable, Miles Edgeworth. You've dug yourself into your own grave.
What do you mean?
The only one who could have used the snowmobile was the defendant. She's the one who moved the body. Doesn't that put the final nail in your coffin?
You're too late, Franziska von Karma. And in fact, the defense has proven something else entirely. We should have shown that this case requires further investigation.
What?
Where was the victim Elise Donham really killed? If her body was moved, whatever for? And finally, just what does this image mean?
Do you even need to think about that? Such a creature could never see the truth, let alone describe it.
Objection. This witness certainly sits on one of the lowest possible branches of humanity. However, he would never utter a lie that could hurt a girl with whom he is enamored. He drew this, so it's something that actually happened. The defense stands firm on this point. Edgy! Thank you! That settles it then. I cannot give a verdict under the circumstances. Right. I seem to have fulfilled my part in this. It's just as I thought. Franziska von Karma, you make a wonderful partner.
Excuse me?
There was one reason and one reason alone for me being here. To expose the darkness lurking in this case, and then pass it on to Wright. Really? That's what this was all about? You could have just told me that from the very beginning. Then I wouldn't have had Ow!
Miles Edgeworth. I don't care about what you were here to do. This is my chance to finally grind you under my heel.
A shame that your chance seems to have slipped you by. What a shame! Ow!
This is all your fault. Such a terrible witness. You are an affront to all that is...
Ow! Ow! Ow!
I demand satisfaction!
Are you getting enough, you sadistic bitch? Oh, I'm dead. Giggity.
He's gonna feel that in the morning. Giggity.
I'm gonna feel that in the morning. Giggity.
I cannot believe that the witness's testimony relates to an actual event. However, there has to be some sort of answer for the question it raises. Have his words here today been truth or lies? Next time we gather in this courtroom, those are the matters that shall be addressed. I am counting on thorough investigations by both the defense and the prosecution. And with this, the rest is up to you, Wright. Court is now adjourned. Whew!
That was fun.
Yes, it was. But my God, my voice! Right, now if this is over, I'm going to go watch the hockey game that I had to miss because of this. Honestly, there's nothing more important to a Canadian than his hockey. You should know that by now.
This is worth it. That was fun.
Yes, it was. And at least my voice got a break from both doing the prosecution and defense.
Well, have fun, because we're going to be doing that and a lot more in the investigation segment.
You don't need to remind me.
And not to mention the Cyclops.
Yes, or the Psycholocks, as Edgeworth calls them.
Yep.
Well, folks, that's it for tonight. I hope you enjoyed that.
Yep, that was fun.
Indeed it was. Next week we'll be hopefully finishing Saints Row if PlayStation Remote Play decides to behave itself.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, I don't know what was wrong with it last week.
Yeah, that was so weird.
Anyway, folks, that's me. Do you have anything to say before we sign off?
Nope, that's it. Other than happy birthday, honey.
Thank you.
Mwah.
Yeah. Alright, folks. Thanks for tuning in and hope to see you next week for Saints Row. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.